Today is Wednesday, October 26th. What to know about one of the most highly anticipated political debates ahead of the midterms, why it's so notable, and what happened on stage. Also, a big shake in Northern California, what thousands of people saw on their smartphones just seconds before the quake hit. Plus, a new way to apply to college is picking up steam. More organizations are cutting ties with Kanye West. And the 8th largest jackpot in Powerball history, what it's up to now. Those stories and more news you need to know coming up. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. Control of the U.S. Congress is at stake in the midterm elections, less than 2 weeks away now. There have been a number of debates leading up to November 8th, but in Pennsylvania, there was a debate last night that was one of the most highly anticipated ones. Pennsylvania Senate candidates Dr. Mehmet Oz and John Fetterman went toe-to-toe on the debate stage. So why is this one race so important? Many political analysts believe whichever party wins this seat will control the Senate. Currently, polls show the race is a toss-up between Fetterman, who is Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor, and Oz, who we know as a television medical celebrity. The two are neck and neck with each other in the final days before voting ends. In their first and only debate, Oz and Fetterman traded blows over their stances on a number of key issues important to Pennsylvanians. Oz called Fetterman an extreme candidate and accused him of being soft on crime. Fetterman claimed Oz had built a reputation for himself of lying on television. On the issue of abortion, Fetterman said he's always supported a woman's right to choose. Oz said it's a decision that should be left up to local political leaders state by state. One big part of the debate came down to who the two would support for president in 2024. Both said they would back whoever secured their party's nomination. This debate also gave voters a chance to hear Fetterman speak in a high-stakes public setting. Back in May, Fetterman suffered a serious stroke. He acknowledged at the beginning of the debate that he might stumble, but said while the stroke knocked him down, he'll keep coming back up. Well, he did stumble at times and have trouble with his speech. There were also some pauses as he used closed captioning to help him process the words he was hearing. Still, the AP cites independent experts who said he appears to be recovering extremely well and that problems with auditory processing do not mean someone also has cognitive issues. Oz avoided talking about his opponent's health challenges during the debate. So, will all of this matter come Election Day? In less than 2 weeks now, Pennsylvania voters will decide. Tensions in Russia's war on Ukraine continue to rise as both sides are accusing the other of plotting to use a dirty bomb. A dirty bomb uses regular explosives wrapped in radioactive materials that could impact large areas. Some think Russia is accusing Ukraine of planning to use one in what will actually be a false flag operation, meaning Russia would detonate a dirty bomb, but then blame Ukraine for it. President Biden said at this point he's not sure if that's truly underway, but he sent a direct warning to Russian President Putin, saying it would be, quote, an incredibly serious mistake. Meanwhile, things are not getting any better for WNBA star Brittany Griner. A Russian court denied her appeal upholding her 9-year prison sentence. Remember, Griner was convicted after Russian authorities say they found vape canisters with cannabis oil in her luggage last February, right before Russia invaded Ukraine. Many believe Russia is holding the basketball player as a bargaining chip. President Biden has said that Griner was being wrongfully detained and should be released immediately. But now that Griner is all out of legal options, her only hope is whether or not the United States and Russia can agree to a high-profile prisoner swap. To be continued. The police now say they know the motive of the gunman who opened fire inside a St. Louis high school this week. It turns out the shooter left behind a handwritten note. The 19-year-old suspect wrote he had no friends, no family, never had a girlfriend, and was living an isolated life. The police commissioner called him the, quote, perfect storm for a mass shooter. He shot and killed a teacher and a 15-year-old student Monday morning. 7 others were hurt before police killed the gunman in a shootout. Police say when he stormed his former high school, he was carrying 600 rounds of ammunition and an AR-15 assault-style rifle. The police commissioner said if officers had not arrived in minutes, the death toll would likely have been much higher. Gun laws in Missouri allow anyone 18 and older to purchase guns, including assault-style rifles, and carry them openly in public. To prevent future shootings, the police commissioner encouraged people to alert authorities when someone who seems mentally unstable starts talking about buying guns or wanting to hurt others. Education Week reports this was the 40th school shooting this year in the U.S. where someone was injured or killed, the most since it started tracking in 2018. Homes and windows rattled in the San Francisco Bay Area yesterday from the largest earthquake to hit the region in almost a decade. Thankfully, there have been no reports of any damage or injuries from the 5.1 quake. The epicenter was several miles from San Jose, and a couple smaller aftershocks were felt as well. Tens of thousands of Californians got a warning on their phone just seconds before the initial big shake, telling them to drop, cover, hold on, protect yourself. One local seismologist called it a great real-world demonstration of the early warning system. More news is still coming up, but first, let's take a quick break for our sponsor. It's almost that time of year where your health insurance plan is going to be top of mind. The open enrollment period is when you'll be signing up for next year's coverage. And whether you're switching plans or not, you may be looking for new doctors. Well, ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. It'll help you sort through doctors that are in-network and in your neighborhood. And it shows you availability right there. Plus, the mobile app is as easy as ordering a ride to a restaurant, allowing you to search, find, and book doctors with a few taps. You can choose to book an appointment in person or remotely. Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc, and I look at it whenever I need to find a new doctor. Go to ZocDoc.com/newsworthy and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/newsworthy, ZocDoc.com/newsworthy. The way students apply for college may be shifting. Inside Higher Ed reports last year was in some ways the kickoff of what's known as direct admissions. And now more state students and universities are embracing it. It's essentially when students create profiles of themselves with their grades and what they want to study, but they don't actually apply to any one college with this. Instead, participating colleges then take a look and reach out to students they want to admit. It's part of an effort to boost enrollment and to help low-income students pursue their college ambitions. In Chicago last year, hundreds of students were accepted to colleges this way. One of the states with the most movement toward direct admissions is Minnesota. Many colleges and universities trying this out are sort of dipping their toe in. But Augsburg University in Minneapolis is completely shifting over to direct admissions. Already it says it's seen a 70% increase in the students who want their applications to be reviewed there. And admissions counselors say they're shifting time from reviewing applications to actually talking to students who have already been admitted about their upcoming experience. Of course, not all colleges and universities are taking part in this sort of thing, and experts have said it's hard to imagine elite selective colleges would stop some of their requirements for admissions. Some also say while applying to college shouldn't be too hard, it also shouldn't be too easy. So stay tuned to see if this new option continues to pick up steam or not. Well, many organizations are cutting ties with Kanye West, who now just goes by Ye. One of the latest, Adidas. Adidas dropped Ye after he made anti-Semitic comments in recent weeks. Adidas, which was founded in Germany and is still headquartered there, said it does not tolerate anti-Semitism or any hate speech. The company also said it conducted a thorough review and that it will immediately stop production of the Yeezy line. They also said they're the sole owner of the design rights. Adidas estimates that ending its nearly decade-long partnership with Ye will cost them almost $250 million. Adidas is just the latest company to distance themselves from Ye. He's been suspended by Twitter and Instagram for offensive posts. His talent agency also announced they were dropping him, while his longtime record label Def Jam said they did not renew his contract last year, and the list goes on. Recently, Ye told Piers Morgan he was absolutely not sorry for his comments, but later in the interview, he did acknowledge his words caused, quote, hurt and confusion. He's also said he plans to buy the social media platform Parler, which promotes itself as allowing free speech. After being dropped by all of the companies, though, Forbes estimates that Ye is no longer a billionaire, though his net worth is still about $400 million. If you like to shop online at Amazon, you'll soon have a new way to pay when you check out. Amazon has just added Venmo to the list of payment options. For the time being, it's only available to select customers, but a full rollout to all U.S. users is happening in the coming weeks. The world's largest online retailer is adding the Venmo feature just in time for the busy holiday shopping season. You'll be able to use it both in their main site and on the mobile app. For the first time, Apple is raising prices on Apple TV Plus and Apple Music. Apple says the increase for music is due in part to licensing fees for artists going up, and TV Plus now has a larger library of content. Apple Music will now cost $1 more, so it's now $11 a month. Apple TV Plus is now $2 more, making it $7 a month. The price hikes take effect immediately. At the same time, Apple released its latest operating system for Mac, the Mac OS 13 Ventura. It's free to download, as most updates are, and is compatible for most recent iMacs and MacBooks, some as old as 2017. It's been nearly 3 months since someone last won Powerball's grand prize. So the jackpot is now up over $700 million. That's the 8th largest in Powerball history. The next drawing is set for tonight. And if you feel like we see the jackpot climbing super high quite often these days, well, that's because the odds are always so bad. You have a 1 in nearly 300 million chance of winning. But eventually, someone will. The biggest jackpot to date was more than $1.5 billion. It was split among 3 winners back in 2016. That's it for the main news today, so now it's time for Work Wednesday, when we break down one interesting career or work-related news story every Wednesday. But first, a break for our sponsor. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. So don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. With virtual interviews, Indeed makes it easy to connect with your applicants. No need to install anything extra. Indeed's virtual interview tool works from your browser. In fact, based on Indeed's U.S. data, most employers said Indeed's virtual interviews saved them days of hiring time. So join over 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why when you sponsor a job, you only pay for quality applications from resumes in the database that match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/newsworthy to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/newsworthy. Indeed.com/newsworthy. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Okay, now back to Work Wednesday. Workers with disabilities are flourishing as remote work becomes more permanent. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics monthly report shows that nearly 6 million disabled Americans have a job, and that's 500,000 more people working than the same time last year. Adults with disabilities are the second largest minority group in the U.S., and their disability could be classified as either physical or mental. The National Disability Institute told Axios, adults with disabilities are finally seeing a shift after many have tried to convince employers to let them work from home or be more flexible for years. Or, as research has shown, they've simply faced discrimination when applying for jobs. Now, the New York Times reports people with disabilities are saying they are not only getting more job offers, but better ones. Experts credit the pandemic, remote work, and a labor shortage. And they say they think this change will help employers see beyond misconceptions that had them overlooking quality candidates in the past. All right, thank you so much for joining us as part of your daily routine, for following us in your favorite podcast app, and sharing the show with friends and family. We so appreciate it. We'll catch you up on more news to know tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.